It is 2 o'clock in the morning. The house is silent, draped in shadows. Somewhere in the corner of your room, there is a perfectly comfortable, expensive dog bed. It's orthopedic, it's soft, it's exactly what a dog should want. And yet, it is empty. Instead, you feel a heavy, warm weight pressing against your legs. You realize you've been pushed to the very edge of your mattress, clinging to a sliver of space, while a creature 15 times smaller than you claims 80% of the territory. Most people look at this and see a clingy pet. They see a habit, or perhaps just a search for warmth. But they are wrong. They are missing the secret hidden in plain sight. What is happening right now, in the dead of night, is not a simple choice. It is the execution of a 50,000-year-old biological protocol. It is one of the most complex, beautiful, and slightly eerie expressions of interspecies trust on this planet. Your dog isn't just sleeping. They are performing a ritual of survival that predates cities, predates agriculture, and perhaps predates the very concept of humanity as we know it. Tonight, we aren't just talking about pets. We are deconstructing a biological mystery that behavioral neuroscience is only just beginning to crack. Welcome to the truth behind why your dog sleeps with you and what they are desperately trying to tell you. Let's dismantle the biggest myth first, the warmth theory. It sounds logical, doesn't it? Dogs get cold, humans are like biological heaters. End of story. But if you look closer, the logic falls apart. Your dog has access to the warmest spots in the house, sunny patches by the window during the day, rugs near the radiator, or even a pile of your discarded laundry. If temperature were the only variable, they wouldn't need to navigate the precarious edge of your bed. No, the answer isn't in the skin, it's in the brain. To understand this, we have to look at the state of sleep itself. In the wild, sleep is a death sentence. It is the moment of ultimate vulnerability, the window where the predator becomes the prey. Every instinct inherited from the gray wolf, the ancestor that still haunts your dog's DNA, screams at them to find a hidden burrow, a thicket, a place where their back is covered. Yet, your dog ignores every quiet, safe corner of your home to climb onto a platform with you. They are essentially walking past the fortress to sleep in the middle of an open field with a giant. Why? Because to your dog, you are not just a person. You are the fortress. In Budapest, at Eötvös Loránd University, researchers decided to test this bond using something called the Ainsworth Strange Situation Procedure. This is the gold standard test used by psychologists to measure the bond between human infants and their mothers. When they applied it to dogs, the results were staggering. Dogs don't just like us. They form attachment bonds that are functionally identical to a human toddler's bond with its parent. They seek proximity when scared, they experience genuine distress when separated, and their heart rates stabilize the moment they are reunited. 61% of dogs tested were classified as securely attached, a number that mirrors the human population almost perfectly. When that dog settles against your ankle at 3 a.m., they aren't being needy. They are performing the single most fundamental behavior in attachment psychology. They are telling the universe, this is the safest place in existence. But the mystery goes deeper than psychology. It enters the realm of interspecies chemistry. In 2015, a team at Azabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science that changed everything we thought we knew about evolution. They were looking at oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, the chemical foundation of love and bonding. This is the same molecule that floods a mother's brain the first time she holds her newborn. Usually, this chemical is reserved for your own kind. You feel it for your children, your partner, your family. But dogs found a way to hijack this system. The researchers discovered a neurochemical loop. When your dog gazes into your eyes, their oxytocin levels spike. But here's the kicker. Your oxytocin levels spike too. The more you look at them, the more you bond. The more you bond, the more they look at you. It's a self-reinforcing biological feedback loop. They tested this with wolves raised by humans, hand-fed from birth. The result? Nothing. The loop didn't exist. This isn't a mammal thing. It is a dog-human thing. It was specifically forged in the fires of our shared history. And when you sleep together, that chemical exchange doesn't stop. You are marinating in a shared sea of oxytocin for 8 hours straight. It is a biological merger. But there is a shadow side to this bond, a part of the story that is often ignored. Why did this start? To find the answer, we have to travel back 15,000 years, or perhaps even 50,000 years, to a world of ice and shadows. Long before we built fences, Wolves began to shadow human camps. They weren't looking for friends, they were looking for scraps. But over thousands of generations, something strange happened. The aggressive ones were driven away. The fearful ones fled. Only the misfits remained. The wolves with a genetic mutation that made them unnaturally friendly. Geneticists recently discovered that domestic dogs carry unique genetic insertions on chromosome 6. In humans, mutations in this exact same region cause Williams-Buren syndrome, a condition characterized by extreme gregariousness and a desperate need for social contact. We didn't just domesticate dogs. We selected for a beautiful genetic defect that makes them incapable of wanting to be alone. In 14,000-year-old burial sites in Germany, archaeologists found humans buried with dogs that showed signs of severe illness. Illnesses they couldn't have survived without weeks of intensive human care. We were nursing them, and they were guarding our dreams before we even knew how to write our own names. Now let's talk about the Mayo Clinic paradox. If you ask a sleep scientist about sharing a bed with a pet, they will show you data. They will show you motion trackers that prove dogs disrupt our sleep. They move, they twitch, they dream run, they kick you in the ribs. Objectively, the data says your sleep quality should be worse. And yet, when the Mayo Clinic surveyed owners, the results were a defiance of logic. People felt more rested. They felt more secure. They felt better. How do we explain a feeling that contradicts the data? The answer lies in our ancient nervous system. For the vast majority of human history, we did not sleep in isolated, soundproofed rooms behind locked doors. We slept in groups. We slept around fires. We slept with the sounds of breathing and the warmth of bodies around us. The modern solo bedroom is a biological anomaly. When your dog is in the room or on the bed, your nervous system recognizes a sentinel. You have a biological alarm system that never truly sleeps. This creates a psychological safety net that is more restorative than the perfect darkness of a lonely room. But it's even more profound than just feeling safe. It's about co-regulation. In 2024, researchers in Finland monitored the heart rate variability, or HRV, of dog owner pairs. HRV is the ultimate measure of your nervous system's health. High HRV means you are resilient, calm, and regulated. Low HRV means you are in a state of chronic stress. What they found was hauntingly beautiful. During rest, the nervous systems of dogs and their owners began to sync up. Their heart rhythms began to echo one another. They were co-regulating. When you are stressed, your dog feels the shift in your autonomic state and attempts to anchor you. When you are calm, you become their anchor. You are two separate species, two different brains, functioning as a single neurological unit through the night. However, there is a warning you must hear. Because this bond is so deep, your dog's sleep behavior is their most honest form of communication. They don't have words, so they use their presence. If your dog has spent years sleeping by your side, and suddenly, one night, they stop, do not ignore it. This is a red flag in the silent language of canines. Sometimes it's environmental. A new sound, a new smell, a subtle shift in the household hierarchy. But often it is physical. Dogs are masters at hiding pain. It is an evolutionary leftover. Show weakness and you become a target. But they cannot hide their sleep choices. A dog that stops jumping onto the bed might not be growing up or becoming independent. They might have early-stage joint pain or spinal discomfort that they haven't shown you while awake. In older dogs, a sudden change in sleep location is often the first, quiet whisper of canine cognitive dysfunction, the dog version of Alzheimer's. It affects 35 of dogs over the age of 8. If the ritual changes, the conversation has changed. You need to listen. As we wrap up this journey into the canine mind, look down at the creature at your feet, or the one currently occupying most of your pillow. They are not just an animal you bought or adopted. They are the product of 50 millennia of intentional evolution. They are a biological mirror, a creature that literally rewired its own brain and DNA just to be closer to you. When they press against you tonight, they aren't just looking for a soft place to land. They are fulfilling a prehistoric promise. They are telling you that out of all the billions of people on this planet, out of all the places they could be, you are the safest thing in their world. You are their pack, their parent, and their protector. And the science says, whether you realize it or not, they might be yours too. If this changed the way you look at those 4 paws on your bed, hit that subscribe button. Join us as we continue to peel back the layers of the animal kingdom and the mysteries of the human heart. Drop a comment below. Where does your dog sleep tonight? And have you ever felt that nervous system sync we talked about? I read every single one. And if you want to know the terrifyingly beautiful reason why your dog stares at you while you're eating or just sitting on the couch, the science behind the gaze, that's the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss it. Sleep well tonight. You're not alone.